Welcome to a journey through one of the most compelling stories of faith and resilience ever told. In the ancient land of Canaan, a young man named Joseph rises above betrayal and adversity, guided by his unwavering belief and divine purpose. From the depths of a pit to the heights of power in Egypt, Joseph's journey is a testament to the strength of the human spirit and the transformative power of forgiveness. With the incredible twists of fate and the lessons of perseverance, this is the phenomenal and powerful story of Joseph.
From my lips, feel big from the bit, take a sip till I pass out. Try and get grit, but it don't make sense, cause you can lose life on this fast route. Yeah, turn thoughts to a cash cow. I might flip that to the glass house. I don't need the accolades, I'm in love with the chase. I just wanna eat, save a spot at the table. Beast with the slap, pin myself on the map. You long with the wind, but we knowing that it's capped. 5-hour flights, couple nights at the flat. To be real, couldn't see me making moves while
In the ancient land of Canaan, there lived a man named Jacob, who was blessed with 12 sons. Among them, the most beloved was Joseph, the son of Jacob's old age, born to his cherished wife Rachel. Jacob's love for Joseph was so deep that he gave him a special gift, a richly ornamented coat of many colors, a symbol of his favor. But this favor did not sit well with Joseph's older brothers. They were consumed by jealousy, for Joseph was clearly their father's favorite. The tension between Joseph and his brothers grew even stronger when Joseph began to have strange, vivid dreams. In one dream, he saw himself and his brothers binding sheaves of grain in a field. Joseph's sheaf stood upright, while the sheaves of his brothers bowed low before him. He shared this dream with them, and it only fueled their resentment. Not long after, Joseph had another dream. This time the sun, the moon, and 11 stars bowed down to him. Even his father Jacob was taken aback by this. Though Jacob rebuked Joseph, he kept the dreams in mind, wondering if there might be a deeper meaning. One day, Jacob sent Joseph to check on his brothers, who were tending the family's flocks in the distant fields of Dothan. As Joseph approached, his brothers saw him coming from afar. Their anger toward him had festered, and they saw this as an opportunity to rid themselves of him once and for all. Plotting amongst themselves, they devised a plan to kill Joseph and claimed that a wild animal had devoured him. But the eldest brother, Reuben, objected to killing Joseph outright. He suggested that they throw Joseph into a dry well instead, hoping to rescue him later. The brothers agreed, and as soon as Joseph arrived, they stripped him of his multicolored coat and cast him into the pit. While they were eating, a caravan of Ishmaelite traders appeared, heading to Egypt. Judah, one of the brothers, had an idea. Instead of leaving Joseph to die, they could sell him as a slave. This way, they could rid themselves of him without shedding his blood. The brothers agreed, and for 20 pieces of silver, they sold Joseph to the traders, who took him far away to Egypt. With Joseph gone, the brothers needed to cover their tracks. They took his coat, tore it, and dipped it in the blood of a goat. When they returned to their father, Jacob, they presented the blood-stained coat and said Joseph had been killed by a wild animal. Overcome with grief, Jacob tore his clothes and mourned for his son for many days, believing him to be lost forever. Meanwhile, in Egypt, Joseph was sold as a slave to Potiphar, the captain of Pharaoh's guard. Though far from home and separated from his family, Joseph remained faithful to God. The Lord was with him, and everything he touched prospered. Potiphar soon noticed Joseph's exceptional skills and character and put him in charge of his entire household. Under Joseph's care, Potiphar's house flourished, but Joseph's troubles were far from over. Potiphar's wife, taken by Joseph's good looks and charm, tried to seduce him. Day after day she pursued him, but Joseph refused, staying true to his morals and his God. Enraged by his rejection, Potiphar's wife falsely accused Joseph of attacking her. Potiphar, filled with anger, had Joseph thrown into prison. Even in prison, however, God's favor was upon Joseph. The prison warden took notice of Joseph's wisdom and integrity and placed him in charge of the other prisoners. Among these prisoners were two of Pharaoh's officials, the chief cupbearer and the chief baker. Both had dreams one night that left them troubled. When Joseph saw their distress, he offered to interpret their dreams, for he knew that God could reveal their meanings. The cupbearer went first, describing his dream of a vine with 3 branches which budded and blossomed, producing ripe grapes. Joseph interpreted the dream, telling the cupbearer that in 3 days he would be restored to his position in Pharaoh's court. Encouraged by this, the baker shared his dream next. He had dreamed of 3 baskets of bread on his head, with birds eating from the top basket. But Joseph's interpretation for the baker was grim. In 3 days, the baker would be executed. 3 days later, Joseph's interpretations came true. The cupbearer was restored to his position and the baker was hanged. Before the cupbearer left, Joseph asked him to remember him and mention him to Pharaoh in the hope of securing his release. But the cupbearer, once free, forgot Joseph, and Joseph remained in prison for 2 more long years. One day, Pharaoh himself had a dream that none of his magicians or wise men could interpret. In the dream, Pharaoh saw 7 fat, healthy cows grazing by the Nile, followed by 7 scrawny, sickly cows that devoured the fat cows. In a second dream, he saw 7 full heads of grain, followed by 7 thin heads that swallowed up the healthy ones. Deeply troubled, Pharaoh searched for answers. It was then that the cupbearer remembered Joseph he told Pharaoh about, the young Hebrew in prison who could interpret dreams. Joseph was summoned to the palace, and after hearing Pharaoh's dreams, Joseph explained their meaning. The 7 fat cows and 7 healthy heads of grain represented 7 years of abundance in Egypt, followed by 7 years of severe famine, symbolized by the 7 thin cows and scorched heads of grain. Joseph advised Pharaoh to store up grain during the years of abundance to prepare for the coming famine. Pharaoh was so impressed with Joseph's wisdom that he made him second in command over all of Egypt, placing him in charge of the land's preparation for the famine. For 7 years, Egypt flourished under Joseph's leadership. He oversaw the collection and storage of vast amounts of grain, ensuring that the nation would survive the years of hardship ahead. When the famine struck, it spread far beyond Egypt, reaching Joseph's family in Canaan. Jacob sent his sons to Egypt to buy grain. When they arrived, they did not recognize Joseph, now dressed in fine Egyptian robes and wielding immense power. But Joseph recognized them. Though his heart was filled with emotion, he chose not to reveal his identity right away. Instead, Joseph tested his brothers to see if they had changed. After a series of events, including imprisoning one brother and demanding they bring their youngest brother Benjamin back to Egypt, Joseph saw that his brothers had grown remorseful for their past actions. Overcome with emotion, Joseph finally revealed his true identity. Tears filled Joseph's eyes as he told them, "I am Joseph, your brother, the one you sold into slavery." His brothers were terrified, fearing that Joseph would seek revenge for their betrayal. But Joseph comforted them, saying, "Do not be afraid. What you intended for harm, God intended for good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." Joseph embraced his brothers, and their family was reunited. He invited them to live in Egypt, where they would be provided for during the remaining years of famine. Jacob, overjoyed to learn that his son was alive, came to Egypt. and the family was restored. Through the trials and triumphs of Joseph's life, the hand of God was always at work. What began as a story of betrayal and suffering became one of forgiveness, redemption, and divine purpose. Joseph's journey, marked by faith and resilience, would forever stand as a testament to the power of God's providence and grace. The story of Joseph teaches a profound life lesson about resilience, faith, and the power of forgiveness. Despite enduring betrayal, slavery, false accusations, and imprisonment, Joseph remained steadfast in his faith and integrity. His journey shows that even when life seems unfair or hopeless, maintaining trust in a higher purpose can turn adversity into opportunity. Joseph's rise from a pit to a palace illustrates that challenges, no matter how painful, can shape us for greater purposes. Most importantly, his act of forgiving his brothers demonstrates that forgiveness has the power to heal and transform lives, leading to reconciliation and peace. This story reminds us that patience, faith, and a forgiving heart can turn life's greatest trials into moments of triumph and redemption.
I'm never so packed for the stack, never lied on the rap, got a bag from the way that I write it. Queen looking Tyson, do that ass survive, doing 80 to the house, then I hit it to the sky, change haters on a tirade, talking to their grip in the face, be still, let that hate stuff fade. We all want the same, we all want a meal in the safe, I wanna live like I'm trying to reach enlightenment. Trail spill from my lips, feel bent from the bib, take a sip till I pass out. Try and get grit, but it don't make sense, cause you can lose life on this fast route. Yeah, turn thoughts to a cash cow. I might flip that to the glass house. I don't need the accolades, I'm in love with the chase. I just wanna eat, save a spot at the table. Beast with the slap, in myself